Hey everyone, thank you for checking out the World of WWE podcast. I am your host, Ant, and today we are going to be covering NXT from July 27th, 2021.
And I'm sorry, but where's my introduction here?
Oh, I guess it's here right now. My co-host,
Macho Man Dan, dig it.
I love it. Yeah, Macho Man Dan is just like interrupting, causing disruption, like I think he did last podcast. So speaking of that, for those of you who were listening, which I hope were a lot of you, we were ending our Monday Night Raw recap, and Eric Bischoff's old theme music came on. At first, I really believed it was Dan doing it because I was behind my computer. I wasn't doing it. Dan has my password because he took over for Carlos in social media. And I asked him if he was doing stuff, adding, hacking, and he claims it wasn't him. Dan, you sure it wasn't you?
I'm telling you, I swear on my life, man, I'm not doing this shit.
Well, I hope you're not a liar. I don't think you are a liar. It definitely isn't me. That's 100% sure. I wouldn't try to sabotage my own product over here. So I don't understand what's happening, but I do want to apologize for those listening. We don't ever try to end the podcast really quick like that. We just wanted to make sure that no profanities or things that did not align with our beliefs come out on our podcast. So that is why we ended quickly, and that will not happen again.
But hey, as they say, the show must go on.
Yes, the show definitely will go on, and the show did go on as we started NXT as Tommaso, Ciampa.
What the fuck?
Dan, is that you doing it again?
No, I swear, and it's not me. I promise.
So you need to tell me that there's a magic person here because I'm not doing it.
I guess so. It's not me.
Dan, you're funny, but to be honest with you, this isn't really funny.
Anthony, if I was going to prank you, I wouldn't mess with the podcast like this. It's not me.
It was me, and it was me all along.
Is that fucking Vince McMahon?
Hey Vince is on our podcast. What is happening?
No, you stupid idiots. It's me, Carlos is back.
Carlos? Well, Carlos, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm confused because last time we talked, you didn't want to do the podcast. You wanted to move on and focus on your own thing. And now you're interrupting. I understand. Like, I thought we were on good terms. Why are you interrupting the podcast?
So, I listened to last week's podcast and I thought it was trash without me on there. So I'm back to bring back what we need.
So the show was trash. Thanks. Thank you for listening. But so if you didn't like it, then why are you back?
So I've been receiving a lot of messages and DMs from our supporters saying for me to come back, that they need to hear my opinions and everything. So I'm back now. For the people.
For the people.
He's for the people.
Champion.
I mean, Dan, what I did not expect to hear from Carlos.
I didn't either, but I mean, we did say he's always welcome back. So
I mean, and I'm not a liar. I just wish that you would have done it a bit more professionally. But if you want to say that you heard people asking for you back, I guess we can let you believe that. I guess. But anyways, it is great to have you back, Carlos. 100%. It was different without you, and I'm sure a lot of people
worry about shit anymore. That was a pain in the ass. Thanks, Carlos, for leaving me with that responsibility.
Yes, Latino Heat is back, man.
Latino Heat
is back, and the reigning tribal chief here because he did win our Money in the Bank prediction.
So right now I'm
head of the table.
I've been defending my championship since I think I've been champion since the previous pay-per-view app before this.
WrestleMania Backlash, I think. Yes.
No. What was the pay-per-view before this?
WrestleMania Backlash was the one right before Money in the Bank.
No. Hell in a Cell.
Oh,
right. Oh my goodness.
I first won it at Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Part of the table, so acknowledge me.
Well,
we certainly acknowledge you, Carlos. Thank you for coming back.
Dan, do you mind joining us for this recap today?
Well, I mean, I was originally just going to do it because Carlos wasn't here, but I mean, seeing as I already watched it, I may as well stick around.
Awesome. And Carlos, I'm going to assume that you checked it out. I mean, I don't know. I hope you did since you interrupted today's show.
No, I definitely did. It was really good.
All right, good. All right, so let's talk about it. So we start off with a tag team match. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher taking on the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. This was a pretty good match. The ending came when Ridge Holland showed up, and he pretty much attacked Timothy Thatcher outside. And then Pete hit Tommaso Ciampa with 2 bitter ends to get the victory for their team. And then after the match, Ridge Holland attacked Thatcher again, and Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan make Tommaso Ciampa watch his partner get attacked and mauled by Ridge Holland. Let's start with Dan, since what do you think about Ridge Holland, and what do you think about the match and Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan victorious?
It was certainly interesting considering the fact that they made him watch. I think that was a very good tactic, because it kind of fucks with the person's head. It was a good match. It was definitely good.
Yeah, awesome. And how about you, Carlos? What are your takes on the whole situation in the match?
I thought the match was really good. Good tag team action.
I think. Go ahead, Carlos.
And yeah, that man was huge. I was not expecting that to happen.
Yeah,
I never seen him before, but he's huge.
I know he competes in NXT UK, and my UK friend, shout out to Ellen. I feel like she talked about Ridge Holland to me before, and he definitely is a big dude. He's going to be a huge powerhouse in NXT, and he's definitely going to be an added extra set of support for Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. Next, we see Hit Row. They're doing a promo. They're speaking Spanish against Legado del Fantasma, and Hit Row will be taking on Imperium later tonight. Next, Samoa Joe comes down to the ring. He tosses a table and chair. He sets it up and places a contract on the table. So he sets up a table in the middle of the ring. He calls William Regal down, and he tells Regal that he knows Regal is going to fire Karrion Kross. But before he does, Joe quits NXT management. He says he wants to be an active member on the roster. And William Regal signs, officiates him as a wrestler. And then Samoa Joe has a match in mind at TakeOver 36. Karrion Kross defending his NXT championship against Samoa Joe. William Regal signs the contract, and Samoa Joe and Regal shake hands. It is official. Samoa Joe will be returning to the ring after being out for a long time to take on Karrion Kross. This is going to be a brawl. Carlos, what are your takes on this match headlining TakeOver 36 and Samoa Joe fighting again?
This is going to be really good because one thing I noticed, they both have chokehold submissions. So they kind of both have the same submission. But I think we all saw this coming eventually. I thought they were going to have him maybe as manager for a little longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we all saw this coming. And I think the whole segment was good. I feel like Karrion Kross should have been involved in it though. I just don't feel like, I don't understand why he didn't interrupt or anything. Or he should have at least been involved.
True, we're used to seeing a lot of hostility go down during these events.
Yeah.
And Dan, how about you, Macho Man? What do you think about Joe coming back?
I'm glad he's back. I feel like he can do a lot better in NXT like he did before. I mean, on the main roster, he just wasn't used correctly.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually watching, and this will be coming up, a little spoiler for everybody, a little tease. We are going to be coming out with our greatest NXT TakeOver matches, and Samoa Joe definitely has some matches on there, and he was just amazing. And you're right, Dan, they definitely didn't play to his strengths in WWE. For me, I'm excited.
I thought they did kind of like he had some really good like promos and everything in like his matches that he had.
True, but
like when he first came up, and remember when he injured Seth Rollins, and then like he was like a dominant force. I feel like he should have been like a main roster champion though. That is one
true.
thing.
And that's why I was going to say that's the reason why I say he was held back, because he was NXT champion for more than one occasion. And I just feel like you said, I feel like he should have been used as like a main event, like WWE champion, especially if they're using Bobby Lashley right now. But for me, I don't know what to think of this match because Karrion Kross is already an active member on Raw, which usually means that those, like, if you go back, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, Sasha was the NXT Women's Champion when she debuted on Raw, and then that Sunday she dropped it to Bayley at TakeOver Brooklyn. I don't know, maybe something's going to happen, but I don't see Karrion Kross leaving TakeOver Champion since he's on Raw, which kind of upsets me because it ruins the main event. But I could be wrong. But I am excited nonetheless to see Samoa Joe get in there and kick some ass.
Yeah.
Next up, LA Knight is golfing, and he has his caddy Cameron Grimes with him. And Cameron Grimes just continues to distract LA Knight from hitting the ball in the hole. That's what she said. Nothing much to go from there, just a little segment. Next, we have the NXT Breakout Tournament. We have Carmelo Hayes taking on Josh Briggs. This guy, Josh Briggs, I had never seen him before. He is 6'8". And there's a cool moment where Briggs hits a huge big boot and a one-arm choke slam, but he gets a 2 count. Carmelo Hayes gets the win after a backwards flying axe kick off the top rope. That was really cool. And we know that in the NXT TakeOver oh my goodness, the NXT Breakout Tournament semifinals will be taking place, and we know that it will be Duke Hudson taking on Carmelo Hayes. We'll start with you, Dan. Thoughts on Carmelo and Briggs?
It was interesting because, well, I mean, everything in NXT is just really different to me. I mean, I'm not used to these guys, but it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
I don't have any other thoughts on that.
How about you, Carlos? Your thoughts on this match and Carmelo?
I also thought it was really different. I'm not really used to seeing these two guys. Like, it's a good way to build them up, but I feel like it kind of takes away from the NXT superstars that are there. Kind of. Yeah. But it was different. You know, the whole tournament's kind of different.
It is. I don't really understand the Breakout Tournament. I know that Bronson Reed was involved in it last year. Cameron Grimes. I think Austin Theory possibly.
What's his name? Elias Swerve. He was too.
Oh, Isaiah Scott Swerve. Yep, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Sorry, Isaiah Scott Swerve. That should be his new name. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it doesn't really do much for me. It was a decent match, but the Breakout Tournament, there's really no point to it. But
I know I'm rooting for Carmelo Hayes. He's one of mine. He's really good.
All right. I like the cool backwards axe kick. It reminds me of Booker T. After this match, we see another segment with LA Knight at the golf course, and LA actually hits a ball into the water and makes Cameron Grimes go out and get it. After Grimes grabs the ball, Ted DiBiase shows up in a golf cart, and he tells Cameron Grimes that Cameron wasn't born to be a butler. Cameron was born to be a champion. What did you guys think of this segment? We saw Ted DiBiase come back, kind of rooting Cameron Grimes on. What do we think here?
Again, it's interesting because, you know, you haven't seen something like that in a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Not since, like, what was it, $1 Million Man and Virgil?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So, I mean, it's not original, but it's a great kind of throwback to it.
Yeah.
And I was just really disappointed that we didn't hear the $1 Million laugh.
Oh, yeah, you didn't do that. You're right.
Usually every little segment that he has, he tries to throw it in there.
There's a moment, let me add this because this happens later on, but just to kind of close out the Cameron Grimes and LA Knight saga, later on, there's a moment where Grimes goes to hit the golf ball, and the golf ball, or no, it's not the golf ball. I don't know, the golf club. Yeah, he uses the golf club, and I think it hits LA in the nuts, and so he's upset about that, and that kind of segment.
I hope he was wearing a cup.
I hope so.
I know. It was like it hurt. Like hit him a couple times. He hit him a couple times in the area.
Also, I hope he wasn't planning on having kids.
A lot of people got hit in the area this week. Baron Corbin on SmackDown last week. LA Knight on NXT.
There's been an assassination with balls, I guess.
WWE likes to promote that, I guess. I don't know.
They like to hit people's in the balls.
There's always something good about a great pair of balls.
It kind of reminds me, like, all of this kind of reminds me of like when AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura just repeatedly hit each other in the nuts.
Or do you remember, or the time when Dean Ambrose, when AJ Styles was gonna go for the Phenomenal Forum, then Dean Ambrose knocked him off. Then he was literally hanging from the fucking ropes on his nuts.
Oh yeah.
And then Dean Ambrose was like shaking his hand, and then after SmackDown.
And then he shook his hand, and then he patted his shoulder and walked away. And he just
after SmackDown went up the air. John Cena came out, did his run against the ropes, and AJ Styles was still hanging from the freaking ropes. Roman Reigns came out, shook the ropes, and then everybody was like getting their own idea. Oh my god, that must have been really horrible.
Yeah, LA Knight understands what AJ Styles definitely went through after that.
So off the balls topic.
Was that a lot of balls popping? Yeah.
No, I said off the balls topic.
Oh yeah, because he keeps talking about balls. I mean, it's always fun to talk about balls, right, guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, we're gonna move on. NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez, Big Mommy Cool, with Dakota Kai. And Raquel basically says, who's next? She's beat everybody. Dakota Kai takes the mic and says her friend, Big Mommy Cool, is the most dominant female in NXT. She's more dominant than Paige, Emma, Asuka,
Charlotte Flair,
Bailey, Sasha Banks.
She never said Sasha. Well,
yeah, because Sasha's not in the league. She's, right? Isn't she like... beneath,
but she never said Sasha. So.
Yeah, because she's beneath her, right?
I was getting so defensive over Sasha.
I'm breaking balls. I'm joking. I said that Sasha was beneath Raquel. That's why she didn't mention her, but I was breaking balls. It's basically Dakota says no one will step to Raquel as long as Kai is Raquel's friend. Raquel will always be champion. And then Raquel goes to pose with the title. And then Dakota Kai runs and hits a running kick right to Raquel's face and holds the NXT Women's Championship above her. Dakota Kai turning on her friend after being with her for a year. Dakota Kai wants the NXT Women's Championship. She said to her, as long as I'm with you, you're going to be okay. And now it doesn't look like Raquel's going to be okay. What do you guys think about the upcoming match? It looks like for TakeOver 36, Dakota Kai versus Raquel Gonzalez. I'll go with Carlos first.
So I was not expecting that at all. Like I thought that was like the last thing on my mind. Like see Dakota turn on her like that. But it's gonna be a good one. I know it is. Even though like the size advantage goes to Raquel. I feel like it's gonna be a good match to see.
Okay.
But after that, and if Raquel retains, who's next after that? There's not really anybody that she could fight, you know?
You're right.
I mean, we haven't really seen anybody actually step up to the plate, you know? Like maybe we could see Candice LeRae, but she's a heel. That won't really make sense.
True. How about you, Dan? What are your thoughts?
So basically, even though I don't watch NXT, and I've said this a few times already, I know, but I think I really did like this promo. I feel, even though I've never seen the characters, well, I've seen Dakota Kai before. I've seen her before. She's a good wrestler. But I feel like it kind of fit their heelish kind of characters and everything. And now that happened, I think that was really cool. Like, just to seeing that, and I thought it worked very well. And after hearing what Carlos said, I kind of have to agree that Dakota Kai is more than likely going to win against her former friend now.
Okay. If this is, I guess that'll like build the feud up a little longer, like between the two. If Dakota wins, which I don't think is going to happen, but
I think Dakota would win. I think she would.
I don't think she's going to win. I did think it was I liked the way they explained why she did it. She's like, as long as I'm with you, you'll be champion. But it's time for me to be champion, like.
Yeah, at least that makes sense compared to some of the other bullshit WWE does.
I do think that, like, it's a long-term storytelling, and that's what I love about it. I do think they're going to have a good match, but I don't think that Dakota needs to win for the rivalry to continue. I can see Dakota Kai, I don't know, like, I have a feeling, and this is going to be way off base, but I have a feeling that Dakota Kai might have someone up her sleeve. And
helping her out?
Yeah. Not going to be, like, working forever, but I think she might have someone who, I don't know, as big or as strong, but I feel like this person might try to help Dakota in the match, and then maybe Dakota could win the title that way. But I don't see Dakota getting a clean finish on Raquel. But I do like how, even if, like, what I also like about it was when they did a recap of it, they show the way that, like, Raquel is looking at the fans. And once she turns around and the boot kicks her, you hear a lady scream. And it looked so just like it was not expected. And I really like that. Because sometimes you expect things like these. Like, I did expect Dakota Kai to turn on Raquel, but I liked the way they did it. So I'm excited. Next, we see the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Zoe Stark and Io Shirai, in the back, and Zoe continues to ask Io Shirai to hang out with her, and Io is like, no, I don't want to. And then Zoe's like, come on, we gotta get on the same page. We're a tag team. And then Io Shirai just walks off. So Io is having none of Zoe Stark.
But she did agree to hang out though, but she just walks away after that.
Yeah, so maybe they'll have like a couple segments of them like hanging out, but really weird for a tag team to not be on the same.
I'm with Io though. Like Io, like fuck everybody else. I got the gold. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Io needs to be a little bit smarter because she needs her tag team partner to.
I know that's a whole different story. That's like in ring, but like outside of the ring, that's a whole different story.
True, but I do feel like the more chemistry and the more time you spend with someone, the more it pays off in the ring. You know your partner's strengths and weaknesses by spending time with them outside of the ring. Like, yes, in the ring, their moves, but if, like, Raquel and Dakota, they're going to have a hell of a match because Dakota knows what makes Raquel tick, and Raquel knows what makes Dakota tick, and it's going to be a crazy match. These two need to get on the same page because you're going to have people like The Way challenging them, and they might lose, or Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, who we'll be talking about in a moment. So, but I do hear you that Io Shirai is just great on her own. She doesn't need anybody, but she's a tag team champion now, so she might need her partner.
Yeah.
Next, Mandy Rose is backstage, and she's actually talking to JC Jane and Gigi. I don't know her last name. And Mandy sees the cameraman and tells him to get away. It looks as if Mandy is trying to create a faction with JC and Gigi. What do you two think of this? Because we've seen her a couple of weeks. She's been scouting talent. Is Mandy Rose creating a new faction? What do we think?
It seems to be she may be doing the same thing that Paige did with her. Remember when Paige debuted like as a Absolution?
Yeah.
Seems to be the same thing.
I don't really like that. I don't think it would really work too well. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't feel that would really work too well.
Okay. All right. Next, we have a tag match between Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter against Frankie Monet and Jessie Kamea with Robert Stone. During the match, Robert Stone threw his Merce, and he accidentally distracts Frankie Monet, allowing Casey and Kaden to hit a flying double, what is that, like a double team finisher, getting the win for their team. After the match, Frankie is furious at Robert Stone. What do we think? We know Casey and Kaden, they're a great tag team. What do we think about Frankie Monet and her teaming up with Jessie Kamea? And fun fact, for those who don't know, Frankie Monet is actually married to John Morrison. Fun fact.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I actually realized that because last night on Raw, like when John Morrison lost his match, he posted like a cursing emoji on the comment section.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my god.
Well, let's start with Carlos. What do you think about Frankie Monet so far at NXT and her working allegiance with Robert Stone?
I don't know how to feel about her. She's cool, but I don't know. Not really much to. She's I think missing something. She has a lot. She has like the charisma. She has everything, and I guess she's like a good like learning tree to like work under. I really like Jessie Kamea. She's like really. She's like top in the top. How do I say it? Like top dogs, I guess, to me.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Dan?
I kind of have to agree with Carlos on it. I mean, it was.
I mean, now I know what I meant to say. Like, I hope that Jessie Kamea gets something good out of working with her. That's what I meant.
You want Jessie Kamea to be like a top like contender for the title?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope she gets something good out of it.
Okay. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
Okay. We're seeing that it basically looks like they're gonna split up. I mean, it doesn't seem like that tag team's gonna last for very long, considering the fact of the way how she reacted after the match. So
it looks like they might just take Robert Stone out of the group.
Yeah, it might.
But where's Aaliyah? I thought she was going to be debuting on the main roster sometime soon.
I heard that Aaliyah traded spots with Mandy Rose, so Aaliyah is supposed to be on Raw, and Mandy is now in NXT.
And I heard that Naomi's on SmackDown. I think that's true, right?
I think so. I heard that she got moved.
Yeah. Like after Money in the Bank, they moved her.
Yep.
But yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's different.
A lot of things are happening that they're not telling us.
Yeah, a lot of backstage stuff going on. We then see Wade Barrett having an interview with Roderick Strong and Malcolm Bivens, and basically Roderick Strong tells Bobby Fish that when he finishes him, this is over between them. I really like this new Roderick Strong character. He's very just like intense and in your face. So yeah, I like that. I mean, there's really nothing much to talk here about. It's just, him challenging Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
Next, we see Imperium taking on Hit Row with the NXT North American champion, Isaiah Swerve Scott. And just something to note before the match, I found out that Isaiah Swerve Scott said that Santos Escobar's son will be a failure just like Escobar when he grows up, which...
Oh, I know that would get under my skin if I heard that.
Yeah. So... during the match,
I didn't realize that he said that.
Yeah, he said.
Either.
During the match, Santos Escobar comes down and attacks Isaiah Swerve Scott, allowing Imperium to hit their finisher on Hit Row and get the win. After the match, Legado del Fantasma attacks Hit Row, but Isaiah Swerve Scott runs in with a chair, sending Legado packing. What do you guys think of this feud between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar, or Hit Row versus Legado del Fantasma?
I think it's good. After seeing that was really good.
Yeah. How about you, Carlos?
Yeah, I thought it was really good too. The only thing I'm just confused about is who are the heels in this situation. Honestly, it's hard to tell who are the heels and who are the faces in the situation.
I have
look, because I heard Scott say something bad about this guy's son, but then Santos Escobar wants to come out and then like use a chair or something. So it's like kind of hard to tell who are the heels and who are. Yeah,
I think that based on the
it kind of threw me off.
Based on the reaction, I think they just think kind of like Stone Cold Hit Row is badass. They're not good. They're not bad. The fans like them, you know.
I'm not the bad guy. I'm not a good
I'm
guy.
a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy.
Yeah, I mean the fans really like and that is I really like when it's organic. They really hate Legado del Fantasma, which is great because they're heels. They're supposed to get that. Yeah,
that's kind of like the reaction that Roman Reigns is getting right now, like with crowds.
Yeah,
like he's a heel, but he's getting cheered most of the time now.
Yeah. Well, it's only when he's really doing promos he's getting cheered. Whenever he's doing matches, people will boo.
No, I know this is kind of off topic, but so I follow the live events that they've been doing lately, like in Milwaukee, Detroit, and he's been getting cheered in every single city. Like the city, like I feel like when they're live that they use too much, they still use fake noise, so it could sound like he's getting booed. But in the live events, they don't use that. So and the fans now are all cheering him every single.
Go ahead, Carlos. Go ahead.
Like when they're making their entrance, because the Usos been coming out with him, they all come out together, because it's been a 6-man tag every live event that they've been doing, and it's been the Bloodline versus this or this or this, and then every time they came out, always cheered.
Well, I have a feeling that the reason why he gets cheered, and this gonna
because this is what the people wanted in the first place when he first came out of him.
Yeah, but I also think because, and Dan and I talked about this too before, I think his theme music plays a little bit into it because it makes him seem imposing. Like when you hear that first, sound, and then it's just dun 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 dun. It's a really, but then also I think it's because he's it's almost like you love to hate him, he's just kind of like Hit Row, or it's fun to a Vince McMahon. When Vince McMahon comes out, you boo him. But I feel like the fans have respect for Roman Reigns now. I think they just cheer for him because it's kind of cool. It's like a Brock Lesnar. We don't like Brock Lesnar, but if you see him, you're like, oh shit, it's Brock Lesnar, and cheer at first,
Not really. No. If I see Brock Lesnar, I'm just because the music, that's the only part. Be like, oh shit. But then when I actually see him, boo.
But if you haven't been to a wrestling show in over a year, like most of these people from the different states have,
you're gonna cheer everyone.
All of the fans have been in there over a year.
Yeah. So I think
the first SmackDown, everyone was getting cheered, kind of.
Yeah, and I do think that Roman Reigns has.
I mean, how Vince McMahon was being cheered when he came back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, Roman Reigns is good. Back to NXT though, I am excited for Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar. They're gonna drop the bar at TakeOver 36 if they make that match happen. We then see the way backstage, and Indy Hartwell shows them a picture that Dexter Lumis drew of Dexter Lumis hanging out with the Way. And Indy says that Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis is going to take place next week. And if Johnny loses, then Indy Hartwell gets to stay with Dexter Lumis. But if Johnny wins, she has to stop seeing Lumis. So they're calling this a love her or lose her match. And this is taking place this upcoming week of NXT. This storyline with Dexter Lumis has been going on for a long time now. I feel like we're going to see a final ending. What do we think about that match?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see the outcome of this.
Yeah, like I'm excited to finally see the finale, like what the big payoff. Is she going to be with him or is she not? Because it's been like a soap opera ever since. And we have our final match. And I do have some news before we go after this match. Adam Cole taking on Bronson Reed, the Colossal. Cole gets the win after he hits his finisher. And then after the match, Kyle O'Reilly runs down and attacks Adam Cole and hits him with a suplex on the side of the ring steps, laying Cole out. What do we have to say about the match and then the moments after? Kyle O'Reilly got booed after he attacked Cole. What do we think?
I think it was a good way to show like how Kyle's kind of mad at Adam, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was good. I mean, that's just my.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. How about you, Dan? Not Dan, Carlos. Oh my gosh. Dan just talked. Go ahead, Carlos.
So I'm a huge fan of Kyle O'Reilly. So I was really happy to like see him like get some payback, kind of.
Yeah.
Because like that's the same thing that Adam Cole did to him a couple months ago.
Yeah.
On NXT. So I was happy. I was happy to like see a more aggressive side of him. Even though I didn't really realize that he was getting booed. But yeah, I was happy to like see that more aggressive side of him come out.
Me too. I was excited to see
what
that.
What do they call it? The killer instinct.
Killer instinct. Yes.
Yeah. Killer instinct.
I think they're gonna have a great match. I do feel like they're gonna settle it at TakeOver 36. I do have some news though that's gonna kind of change things. So I just found out today that Adam Cole's contract with WWE is up, and I
heard about that.
He supposedly is going to be working through SummerSlam, and then that's it. Now that
like no more NXT or like just gone from WWE in general.
Well, if WWE doesn't re-sign him, then he's gone from WWE. Because even if you work for NXT, you're still under a WWE contract.
Oh wow!
So
I swear, I really wait. You guys, remember that episode of SmackDown when Roman Reigns Superman punched Vince McMahon? I really want to do that shit right now. Just boom, just everyone. Get Vince.
To be fair, that does not mean that negotiations and talks won't be happening to have him re-sign.
Yeah, I know, but look what everything's been happening in the past couple months. You think Adam Cole's really going to want to re-sign with WWE after all these releases? Look what they've been doing with Karrion Kross on the main roster. And he's probably like, oh shit, they're going to do that to me.
Adam Cole's wife, Britt Baker, is the AEW Women's Champion too. So I mean,
I can't, man. I really just want to Superman punch Vince McMahon in the face.
I mean, they can do what the hell they want.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll have to see.
Stupid.
Really quick, again, this is kind of related to NXT because we do know that Bray Wyatt was released. However, Bray Wyatt is on social media talking about releasing the House of Wyndham. Wyndham is Bray's real name. And it seems as if, that might be a new sort of gimmick. Also, if he does join AEW, his former partner, Luke Harper in WWE, he's known in AEW as Mr. Brody Lee, was in charge of the Dark Order faction. And that would make sense if Bray Wyatt did join and become the new leader, because part of the reason supposedly why Bray was out was due to mental health by losing his friend Luke Harper or Brody Lee. So it would make sense for Bray to do that. So just some news. You might see some things going on. But yeah, a lot of NXT talent has been released and it's sad, but all right. That is it for NXT July 27th. It has been a doozy of an episode. We found out the culprit messing with our podcast was Carlos, and he is back.
Glad to be back, guys. Glad to be back.
We know that Samoa Joe will be taking on Karrion Kross at TakeOver 36. We know that Dakota Kai is no longer Raquel Gonzalez's friend. And we also know that Adam Cole is going to be in pain and looking for vengeance on Kyle O'Reilly. A lot happened tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. We always talk about how easy it is when you hit the notification bell. You get one message on your phone. It tells you when our videos or podcasts pop up. And Dan, say it for us.
Dig it.
Well, yes, but also that it's so easy to do.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to say dig it.
Still dig it totally too. Yeah, but yeah, it's so easy to do. You can follow us too on Facebook, Instagram. We're gonna drop everything down in the description, so no need for me to list all. But last thing, follow us on Spotify. Also, we are going to be releasing our top 15 SummerSlam matches of all time. That's going to be dropping the weekend of SummerSlam. So it'll be dropping on Friday, the 19th. So check that out. And again, that is it. Carlos and Dan, any last words?
Have a good day, guys.
Guys, stay safe. Enjoy your weekend, and yeah, see you guys next week.
And the countdown is on for me. Carlos and I are going to finally meet in person. We're going to be going to Madison Square Garden for SmackDown. That is September 10th. So we have how many days? We have a couple of days left. I'll tell you in our next recap. But again, thank you guys for listening. Stay safe. And yeah, we will see you next week with NXT. Bye.
See ya.